Hey guys, Justin here. You've seen me out on a whole bunch of winter camping trips this year. I've shown you some great views, talked about how much sleep I get when I'm out on trips. But the question I haven't answered is winter camping fun. And I'm here with my girlfriend, Steph, and we're on a trip. This is her first winter camping trip ever. And we're gonna answer the question for you guys of whether winter camping is indeed fun. So like I said, this is Steph's first time winter camping, but because you've been backpacking a bunch and this is your first time winter camping, I'm curious from your perspective, what's like the thing you're most scared of, or like what's kind of like kept you from winter camping before, or like what are you most nervous about?
A little nervous about the cold. It's supposed to get down to -20, I think, tonight. A little concerning, but other than that, I'm excited. Company's good. I have food.
Yeah, like Steph said, -20. We're kind of throwing her into the mix right away. We're gonna keep the hike up, we'll get to camp, and then I'll start showing you a bunch of the things that we prepared and brought with us in order to have fun at camp and enjoy winter camping.
Oh, you know that.
So Nate's camp, you guys may recognize this spot. This is the Lake Minnewanka LM8 campground, one of my favorite campgrounds. So I wanted to take Steph here. And one of the things that I think makes winter camping really awesome and a lot of fun are the views. Normally, all these deciduous trees would have leaves on them and be blocking some of the view of the beautiful lake and mountains. So wintertime, we get views. And I think that's something to keep in mind if you're planning a trip in the wintertime and want to be fun. Is views definitely add a little bit of something to the trip. That being said, I find trips in the wintertime that may be mundane in the summertime to be really beautiful, because you get that winter wonderland effect with all the trees covered in snow. Another factor for having fun, and we touched on this, is one of the things that you may be quite wary of if you're going winter camping and maybe have never been before, is staying warm. And right now I got Steph over there sawing wood, working hard, and that's so that we can have a nice pile of firewood, have fire all night long. And then the other thing that we brought on this trip was the hot tent. So this is the 3F UL hot tent. And there's a few things that we're gonna set up inside the tent that'll make it even cozier and allow us to have a little bit more fun that I'll show you in a little bit here. And I guess the other thing that I forgot to mention, a lot of my trips this winter have been solo, but a really good way to make winter trips a lot more fun is to bring good company. And I got that on this trip, so I'm pretty lucky. So we got fire going, Steph's all bundled up, and we got some water in the pot on the fire. We're gonna make some hot apple cider with a little bit of cinnamon added in. And I promised you I'd show you, before it gets dark, I'll show you kind of the swanky tent setup that we have, because we're gonna be super comfortable in there once the sun goes down and we hop into the hot tent and get the stove going. So let's go check it out. So here's the hot tent. There's our sleep system, got some warm sleeping pads there with the X-Therm, and then the X-Lite with some extra foam pads underneath. Here's the beautiful 3F UL U stove. And then while we're in here, in order to be comfortable, we brought a couple chairs and a table. And we also have some cards and a crib set. So you're gonna have a fun little time hanging out in here, nice and toasty with the stove. So now that camp's all set up, the key now is just to hang out around camp and keep having fun. I guess I'm curious, Steph, is there anything that you've kind of realized in the first little bit here of winter camping, once we get to camp, that you'd like to share?
Yeah, to stay warm for me, I think I should have gotten into my warmer clothes a little bit sooner. I got quite the chill earlier, but yeah, and getting a fire going was really important to staying warm.
Steph brings up a good point. I think something to realize is that everyone's different, and Steph's much smaller than me. She gets colder quicker, so she needed to get changed in her camp clothes a little bit before me. I'm actually still in my hiking clothes, so I'm still pretty warm. But get changed into your warm clothes before you start getting cold. That's the key. And if you have people who may start getting cold quickly, then definitely get a fire going. Once we got the fire going, got some hot liquids into us, changing our warm clothes, I think we're doing a lot better. We're just gonna keep staying warm, having fun. We're gonna get into the hot tent once the sun goes down and play some games, and I'll show you guys a little bit about that. But otherwise, we'll check in again in the morning. I have a few more tips, I think, on how to have fun winter camping. And I'm really curious to ask Steph some more questions about her experience winter camping for the very first time, because I've been camping solo. So everything that I've been doing is my experience, and it's awesome to be getting someone else's opinion, experience, and learnings out here. And I think it's very valuable for you guys as well, especially if you're new to winter camping. So the sun went down, got pretty cold, so we moved it on into the hot tent. It's already pretty darn warm in here. These things heat up really quickly and put off a lot of heat. Little stove there, and then little chairs and table. Get some crib going. We probably won't keep the stove going all night. It's a lot of work to keep them filled with wood and going, so we'll let it die down, but our sleep system should be warm enough to get us through the night. Well, it will be warm enough to get us through the night.
Yeah, I hope so.
Otherwise, I'll be waking up and getting a fire going in the hot tent. So, a lot of wood. We should be good for a few hours in here with the wood we have. Yeah. Well, we're gonna play some crib and see you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. So we're all packed up. Took down the hot tent. We're gonna go stack that wood by the fire for the next people that come here. We just had a really nice, lazy morning. The hot tent is kind of a game changer in the morning, so you can get up, get the fire going, get it. We got it up to 20 degrees Celsius this morning while we were in there, so that's a really nice way to wake up and eat your breakfast. We're gonna get hiking, warm up a little bit, and then I'm gonna share with you Steph's thoughts on her first time winter camping and some of the things like what was the best part, what was the worst part, and what surprised her. So we're hiking almost back to the parking lot. Just wanted to stop, take in some of this view right here. And I had a great trip. That was a lot of fun. It got pretty cold. It did probably hit that minus 20 degrees Celsius, minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit last night. So definitely a chilly night, and definitely chilly for Steph's first time. I wouldn't recommend for you guys out there going out in that temperature for your first time winter camping. There's a few things that we had that made it a little bit more bearable, but that's what I'm curious about with you. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun. Most of the time.
Most of the time. I guess I'll start off with the negative then. What was the worst part of winter camping for you?
The worst part was right before I ate dinner when I was really cold.
Really cool. Yeah.
So the cold probably, but it got better.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last night a little bit, just with the fact that if you had gotten changed into your warm stuff quicker, probably would have been better. And then what was kind of the best part of winter camping for you? Contrasting it with like 3-season, which you've done a lot. Is there anything kind of with winter camping that makes it special?
Yeah, I think just the views in general are kind of spectacular in the winter, and the fact that there is nobody else around. It was really quiet and just kind of almost, I don't know if serene is the right word, but it kind of just felt like we were in our own little bubble with no one around, so that was pretty spectacular. That was cool. And
we had the whole campsite to ourselves, so there was nobody within kilometers, tens of kilometers of us. So that was, yeah, a really cool aspect. And then was there anything that surprised you, like that you kind of didn't expect with winter camping based on your expectations going into it?
Yeah, the hot tent was spectacular. Because I mean, I was just sitting outside while you were in there kind of getting it started, and when I got in there it was almost like a sauna. It was really hot inside, so that was really amazing.
Yeah, I think the hot tent's a game changer.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going out, you want to like socialize a bit. Like Steph and I, we stayed up in the hot tent chatting and hanging out, and that was a lot of fun. And if it wasn't for the hot tent, we would have just been jumping into our sleeping bags and going to sleep. And it was awesome for me getting Steph's perspective. I learned a lot, and I think it's going to be super helpful for me sharing with you guys some more tips and tricks for winter camping as we move forward. And definitely, I think the key takeaway is everyone's different, and you need to make sure that you're paying attention to your limits and what your body's telling you with cold, because wintertime it gets cold really quickly and you want to stay warm, because that's what's going to keep you comfortable and facilitate having the most fun. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.